Welcome. It's time for another ski resort review. This time I am going to Mount Sunapee in southern New Hampshire. So this is a another family-friendly type of resort. It's the biggest one in southern New Hampshire, not far from one of my other favorite resorts, Pat's Peak. Pat's Peak. I guess I can review that one next after this. I've spent a bit of time here. First, when we were up in Rhode Island, we'd drive up. Usually we go to Pat's Peak, but then Mount Sunapee was also a fun place to ski every once in a while. I know from people who go to Dartmouth or work at Dartmouth, they like coming down here for skiing. It's a really big resort in southern New Hampshire. So it's extremely popular. You can imagine weekends will be busy as far as where it's located. So here's a map showing you there's Lake Sunapee, beautiful lake. You get some really nice views from the peak. So they are reminiscent of an East Coast version of being at Heavenly, which I will review later down the road. But it kind of reminds me of that. Obviously, they're different in scale, but there are some similarities there. You're about 5 hours from New York City, 2 hours from Boston, and about 6.5 hours or something like that from Philadelphia, or even outside of Philadelphia. So it's a trip. It is close though to Okemo. So if you're doing that, and both of these are on Epic, so this would be a fun little trip to go from Ludlow to Sunapee and stop by Claremont and get lunch over there. It's a small town, interesting town though. It has a lot of like looks like industrial history to it. It's not, from my experience being an outsider, New Hampshire doesn't have as much money as a lot of areas that it's just poverty there. It's interesting. I remember getting a slice of pizza once in Claremont or buying some dinner, and I told somebody, "Hey, we're here skiing," and the person was like, "I wish I could have money to go skiing." This was like a waitress or something. It's just kind of, it made me feel bad. It's not doesn't seem like it's a very wealthy area. Although obviously where there are ski areas, there's going to be wealth. People will be building houses around there. But it's one of the many areas you can ski in New Hampshire that are pretty good. Let's go to the trail map. So I shrunk it at first just so you can get an idea of what the scale looks like here. Okay. A couple different areas that you can ski at. Summit's 2,743 feet. Vertical drop is 1,500 feet, more or less. You have this nice beginner area here. You can do some warm-ups and practice. It's actually not bad. I was testing out some new skis last year, and I went over there to get used to them. I was actually here for a test, PSIA test, which I didn't pass, just to be forthright, a level 2 test. So we spent a lot of time up here in this area doing all kinds of stuff. We didn't go into the area on this side, which I actually do like. So I think that this is this called a Sun Bowl? Let me see. This is I'm not really well like, anyway. Let me just keep on going on. Okay, so in terms of there's a lot of parking. You can go pretty far out in the parking. When on a busy day, the parking lots near the base are going to be hard to come by. Spots come by. But again, if you get here early, you're in pretty good shape. The area right here is dedicated towards like freestyle and park stuff. I remember when my son was a kid, we'd come over here, play around, and nice learning area. The main lodge right here, Sunapee Lodge, very bad internet access, terrible internet access. So it, if you're a parent and you're going to watch your kids do something, don't expect to do a lot of work there. I even used my I logged into my own cell phone internet with Verizon, and I didn't have very good reception, so I couldn't really do much there. Last year I was hurt. I had a knee injury before. This was before I took the test. About a month before I took the test, I had a not a displacement, a subluxation of my left knee. So I came here with my son. We were planning a trip. So he went out and skied, and I just sat in the lodge, and I had a hard time doing any work because I just couldn't. It was just like it was tough. It was really, really tough. But then when I came back and went skiing for the test, I wasn't interested in the internet. I just wanted to do my test. All right, so the beginner area is good. You can also connect back to the lodge. Okay, this is Province Sunny Side Down. Will take you back to the lodge. You can hit the lift over here. So that's D. That's Sunapee Express. Hit Sunapee Express. Go to the top. You do Upper Ridge. These are not really hard runs. They're they're nice, but nothing hard. I like Lower Blast Off. I think we did a lot of testing here. I know we did bumps. I was under the lift, so it might have been where Bonanza is. So I did this in March, so it was it's one of my favorite times of the year to ski because everything's a lot softer and fun. So we were over here. There were some bumps down here, and we did. Uh, the area to the left, so this is serviced by, let's see, same, it wasn't the same lift I think we went to. I think we did, let me see. We did we stayed down here for part of the test. We went to, I think, Upper Flying Goose and Lynx to do some of our tests. Like we were doing medium radius turns on Lynx, taking the North Peak Triple, hung out on Lynx. That's a nice, really nice, longer run where you can do good carved turns, a lot of undulations. So it's good for practicing going faster on a steeper run. Upper Flying Goose was a little narrower, and there were a lot of people on it. A lot of them couldn't ski at all. I mean, I don't know what they were doing. I think there were some kids there from a school program, and they just said, "Oh, I got to go in the Black Diamond," right? So to go in the Black Diamond just to prove that they can. There were bumps underneath the lift, and we were doing short turns on the on the looking up on the right side, looking down on the left side. That was a really sweet run there. I like that one. I've spent time here in Sun Bowl, this area. Sun Bowl. I get you get really good views of the lake from here. I remember the first time I skied with this one pair of skis. I went on upper wing ding, and I just like fell right away. It was funny. It was icy. It was early in the season. It was icy, so that made sense. But look, you have this beautiful Williamson Trail. It's long, fun. Yeah, my recommendation would be to take one of the long trails here to warm up, like Upper Ridge, if you can ski blue runs. And again, every this coding is mountain specific, so nobody knows, what it means until you're there, right? But from my experience, this wasn't a very steep, bad run or anything like that. So you can just take Upper Ridge and wind your way around to Lower Ridge and just have a nice, comfortable view of Sunapee and the lake. And then you can, if you want to challenge yourself, I would do links early, as long as it's not too icy, but I would do it early before an Upper Flying Goose before it gets too messy. Because once there's a lot of people on it, it's going to mess up the snow. And of course, if you like that, that's cool. Chipmunk, I remember doing that. But if you can spend some time up here, it'll probably be less crowded. With any of these ski areas, anywhere that takes more effort to get to, that's far away from the lodge, you'll have fewer people. People tend to just see the first lift and they go up. And if you, so that's, they'll spend time probably in this area here. Less time here too, because this takes effort, even though it's a beginner area, less effort here. I mean, more effort to get here, right? If you're into train parks, I'd head to Spruce Triple over here and hang out. Yeah. So there you go. So that's Mount Sunapee. I I urge you to go. Have fun. I mean, the scenery around there is just spectacular with the lake, and they even have, if you're interested, and this is cool. I've always wanted to do this. I haven't done it yet. Like marathon skating, they have a really good skate shop, ice skate shop at near Sunapee. So it's just on one of the roads right near Sunapee, where you can get the kind of skates that you could get on Lake Sunapee and go for miles and miles, with the long blades. I love those. Those skates you can actually exchange with cross-country skis. You have the same boot you put into them. I always wanted to try that 'cause I think I'm really into aerobic exercises. I think that would be fun. But I would combine this with maybe to a trip to, say, Okemo, or if you're at Mount Snow, you want to go up and try something different if you're an Epic, or if you just want to go for a day, I would go here just to try it out. Now, I wanted to talk about ticket prices. Yes, I forgot about that. Ticket prices a little cheaper than, say, some of the other, like Okemo. In my view, I find New Hampshire to be much more affordable than Vermont, including motels, hotels. Everything's much more affordable, especially if you go up to North Conway. I mean, it's one of the great ski towns in the country, but it's much cheaper. Now, Mount Sunapee is not open yet, and I was looking at their site, and the news was, well, we haven't announced an opening day yet. If you go to their um, their ticket sales, you see they start on December 3rd, so that might be a day that they're planning on opening. Day price tickets at online are not horrible for that early season, so not horrible, but I would still expect them to go up, and I still I would still recommend getting a 1 day pass from Vail Resorts because that'll save you. It always saves you money. I don't know if they have the 1 day. I saw it somewhere. The 1 day price. What's it say? Ski and ride from $51. Yeah, get. I think their day pass is like $65 or something like that for Sunapee. Let me hear Epic Day Pass. Let's check this out. I think it's a lot cheaper. So if you do 1 day, it's 132. So this is what choose no peaks. Yeah. This is like your regular day pass. Um, I saw it was cheaper for Sunapee for the day pass. Um, but you can do it, as you can see, you need to do it soon because the Epic Day Pass sales go offline on December 4th. So I would say if you're planning on visiting a Vail resort, get one of those. So I'm not necessarily planning on visiting one this year. I think I'm just going to do my icon mountains. Listen, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe to my channel. Subscribers help me produce these videos. I'm trying to get up to a good number so that I can produce more and more videos for you. Thank you, everybody, for being here, and have a wonderful day as always. Bye.